So, so that song was written by Sarah Bareilles. I was going to say Natasha Bennington. Was written by Sarah Bareilles. And when she wrote it, her music video to the song, she wanted to do this exercise in disruption. And so what she did was she got some people, some very different people from all over the walks of life, and put them in an earbud, and they heard the music, and they were to go in places where people were just doing their daily things and just start dancing. Start like dancing to the music they're hearing, like big, wild dancing. So there are scenes of this one guy, very large man. He's sitting behind his desk, and he just starts, and everybody in the office is just like watching him. Then he sort of gets up and does this huge, huge dance, and he's walking across the floor like, and people are like, and then you see this one woman, she kind of gets up from her desk, and she's like, and she starts to sort of move, sort of. And this is just one of them, and there's like a bunch of them all over. The mall, some guys just starts breakdancing in the middle of the mall, and you see people walking by with bags like, what are you doing? And then he grabs a girl and brings her out and starts dancing with her, and then she starts dancing. And the whole thing really to me was about, we're so used to being in our staid lives, in our controlled lives, our controlled areas that we've blocked out for ourselves. What happens when something comes in, or, bless you, or comes up that wants to break out of that? To me, that's what transformation is all about. It is about what is inside of us that wants to come out. And so the title of my talk today is Let It Out. And the lyrics here, say what you want to say, but let the words come out honestly. And then she sings, I want to see you be brave. So that's what I'm asking today. What is inside of you that's not coming out? You know it's there. There's something there, something in you that wants to come out. But your box is pretty well handled. You don't need to come out of that box. So you're comfortable there. So where does your comfort level lean into discomfort? Because you're so comfortable. And what wants to come out? Is there something inside of you that you're not saying? And that's why the song got me from the first time I heard it. So Robin Sharma said, disruption is the birthplace of transformation. Now, I'm not saying we can only transform by disruption. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is when something comes along and disrupts your area, your being, maybe it's the beginning of an amazing transformation. Maybe it is the beginning of something greater. And not only maybe, if it's there for a reason, whatever it is. So let me ask you, what's going on in your life right now, perhaps, that could feel a little bit like a disruption? Some of you I know, so I'm watching you laugh. But what's going on in your life that feels a little bit like, I didn't ask for this. Why is this here? Well, I'm going to actually tell you, you did ask for it, which is why it's there. You just don't remember asking for it. And it's not a quid pro quo. It doesn't work that way. It's not, I ask for this, this shows up. It's vibration. It's energy. So if your energy is off, you're asking for it. If your energy is somehow off, if you're allowing yourself to fall into these vibrations of lack or unhappiness or uneasiness or uncertainty in a negative way, meaning it's driving you crazy as opposed to making you excited, that's what's bringing whatever's coming in. So, if disruption is the birthplace of transformation, what's going on in your life that perhaps is nudging you to transform a bit? What is nudging you coming up saying, there is so much more here. There's something here for you to pay attention to. So Jim Rohn, you all know who Many of you know who Jim Rohn is. Wonderful, wonderful philosopher. Your world does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. So, one of the questions I had for myself this very week was, am I okay with the change that's going on in my life? Now, as I asked that, I had a headset on to get rid of the sounds of the drills that were drilling the pool out of existence right behind me in our house. We bought a house which had a beautiful pool with a beautiful waterfall. It was very pretty. It was in the wrong place. It should have been over there, but it was here. And so it didn't get the sun. It wasn't really in a great place where, I don't know why they put the pool there. But I might have been okay with the pool there, personally. Especially when they told me what it was going to cost to move the pool. But, I'm married to a man who has very definite ideas. And so he assured me that this was the only way to do this, walked me all the way over to the left part of the garden, took me up to the top of a fence, and had me stand there and say, "What do you see?" And I went, "Well, obviously from here, it's a gorgeous view of mountains." He said, "Yeah, that's where the jacuzzi's going to be." I was like, "Oh, okay. But how's it getting here?" And he said, "Well, there's going to be a deck up here and a jacuzzi that flows over into the giant pool that goes that way." Let's pretend it's this way. That way. And all you see are mountains. And I was like, so he really made a very, very emphatic argument for this moving of the pool. But I hadn't really thought about what was that going to look like to move this pool. Well, you don't really move the pool because he didn't want that pool. This pool just gets broken up and the waterfall, everything got broken up. The noise was crushing. The change in this beautiful little outdoor area was now, it looked like I was in a war zone. Cement everywhere, flying. It was just, so I had headphones on, and I was asking myself, are you okay with change? Because you don't seem to be. In fact, you seem to be really not okay with this change. And what I thought about was, it's not that I'm not okay with change, I don't like the time it takes for the change to happen. That's what's going on. Your world does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. I think we are afraid to have the time happen. I think we're comfortable. We get comfortable in our boxes, and instead of making the changes we know we have to make, we stay in the box because we don't want to deal with the time it's going to take to change it. Because I can tell you, by Christmas, which Kevin keeps saying it's never going to be done by Christmas, but it will be, by Christmas, we will have this beautiful pool with a jacuzzi looking out at the mountains, and whatever you end up doing with this area here, which I assume will be much prettier than it is now, will all look terrific. And I won't really be that concerned with the time it took to get there. You'll just be there. The question is, in a quantum worldview, could you be there now through the change? Okay. Well, I can't. No, I'm kidding. That was so quick. It was like, yes. I was like, damn you. That was my answer. But that's the question. Can you be there now? Jim Rohn has Brene Brown. Courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. So these lyrics in this song, say what you want to say and let the words fall out honestly. I want to see you be brave. There are lyrics during this song that it's like, with everything that's going on in your life, are you willing to speak up? Are you willing to speak out? Are you willing to stand up? And are you willing to stand out, to be different? This quote by Brene Brown, letting ourselves be seen, that's not really the issue. You're all seen. We all see you. We've all seen you. But are we seeing you? Are we seeing the real you? Who are we seeing? When she says, let yourself be seen, courage is about letting yourself be seen. The question is, who are we seeing? Am I really seeing you, or am I seeing what the world has designed you as? Are you really letting it out? Are you really letting out who you authentically are? And frankly, do you even know who that is? Do you take the time to ask? Or are you in that beautiful box where you know everything you are? You know what you like, what you don't like. You know what you'd like to do, what you don't like to do. You know the people you like, the people you don't like. You have it all set. Because frankly, if you're willing to knock all those walls down and push all that away, now you're ready. Now it takes courage. I remember that Lady Gaga, when she was on The Tonight Show, and they asked her that question about, or he asked her that question about, wasn't it wonderful when you got to do Star is Born, where you got to just play yourself. You didn't have to put all that makeup and all that stuff on. And she basically said, that was a role. This is who I am. Her makeup, her hair, the craziness of Lady Gaga is who she is. She goes, that's who I see myself as. I was playing a role. All the makeup came off and I just played a plain girl. She said, I'm not a plain girl. She goes, nothing about me that's a plain girl. And I thought, me too. I am not a plain girl. Nothing about me is plain. And you know what else? I didn't used to be able to say things like that at all. When I was an actor, growing up from, maybe it's only been since I became a minister that I started being more free to actually have fun with who I am. Now, I don't actually like to dress up as a woman, but part of me wishes I did. Part of me wishes I actually liked to do drag, because a lot of my friends do it and they seem to have a great time. But even the one time I even posited the idea and I tried a wig on, I was like, that doesn't work. It just didn't work for me. But is it because it doesn't work for me, or is it because I have been trained by my society that that's not a good look on me? I don't know. I might have to come out here next week as Rose Lichter and give my talk. So what I'm saying today is, say what you want to say. Let the words fall out. Honestly. Do you get what I'm saying here today? What's inside of D? What is inside of you that hasn't come out yet? Do you know? It's out. It's out. Well, it's a question. It's a question for you to look at, because transformation isn't, my idea of transformation this month is not about all this stuff out here. It's not about transforming my backyard. I love to say backyard. I'm still in Philadelphia. My garden. I'm not transforming a house. It's not about transforming the stuff out here. It's not about buying a new wardrobe to look different. It's none of that. For me, the transformation I'm looking at is the deeper transformation, which is why that affirmation's there. I want to change from the inside out. I want to let rip whatever wants to come through me, whatever wants to come out of me. That's the real question. So, Martin Luther King Jr. said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Now, we all know what he was talking about, but what I'd like to talk about is you. You matter. Your life begins to end the day you settle for what you aren't, the day you settle for being less than who you actually are. And every single person in this room is the infinite field of pure quantum potentiality. You can choose to do, be, express, have anything you want, but you have to do the work. Do the work. Live the results. Live the results. That's how this teaching works. So you matter. I love this quote. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. But for us, it's not even the day you become silent. Your life begins to end when you stop paying attention to the things that matter. What are you not saying to the world that you need? What needs do you have that you are not really attending to because you don't want to cause a problem? You don't want to stir things up. You don't like disruption. You don't want the jackhammers killing all the cement in your backyard because you can't see the new space for some reason. So these are important questions to ask ourselves. really ask ourselves, have we become complacent somehow? And are we willing to transform that complacency into action? Really going out and grabbing what is ours. So let me ask you this. What do you want out of your life? From this moment on, what do you want? I don't need you to yell it to me. But what do you want out of your life from this moment on? If it had nothing to do with that, if it had nothing to do with anything that came before it, what would you want in this moment, right now? What would you want? And then, are you willing, courageous enough to say what you want to say? And let whatever that is come out honestly, truthfully, authentically. Because that would be being brave. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson. So, who are you? You know, this whole month for me really is, who am I? Who am I? I'm a husband. I was going to say I'm a wife. I'm a husband. I'm a wife. I'm a doctor. I'm a minister. I'm a singer. I'm a dancer. I'm an actor. I'm a writer. I'm a director. I'm a choreographer. I'm a producer. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm a what? A father. Will, if you're watching this, I meant to say that first. And he does. He watches these things and calls me. All of those things, right? I'm a gardener. I love to garden. You know, we had to take 2 fruit trees out this week because they were interrupting Kevin's view of the mountains. And when we came home, I hadn't realized they were being taken out that day. And so I got out of the car, and there seemed to be a lot of, I was like, wow, it's really sunny over. And I walked over, and there were these 2 mature fruit trees gone. And my reaction, I just started to cry. I did. I just started to cry. I'd already given my permission for this to happen, by the way. And so Kevin came up to behind me, and here's what I hear behind me. Oh my God, this is amazing. This looks great. And I'm like, is he even noticing? I am standing here crying. And then I'm thinking, no, because he's behind me. So he doesn't know what I'm doing. So I turned around and he went, oh. He said, it really looks good. And then he did come in and say, are you okay with the trees being caught? I was like, and if I'm not? Oh, well, yeah. Say what you want to say and let the trees come out, honestly. So here's the thing, this last quote. To be yourself in a world that's constantly trying to make you something else. I really believe all those things that I just mentioned that I am, it's not who I am. It's what I've done with who I am. It's how I identify the Newtonian world of form that I exist in, that we all exist in. So I am all of those things, and I do all of those things. But how often do you take all of those things, put them aside, and drop into who you truly are? Drop into the possibility of who you could be. Maybe who you know you want to be. But all of this is holding you back. That's what this month is all about, bless you. That's what transformation to me is all about. So I don't know if any of you know Maggie Kuhn, but she is a great speaker, and she founded a group called Gray Panthers. Yes, you know who that is? Yeah, so it's a takeoff on the Black Panthers, but she said, I need to start a movement to stand up for the aged, for older people. And it was mostly older women. And I was reading this article about her, and she says, speak your mind even if your voice shakes. And when I read that, I was like, oh my God, speak your mind even if you have a hard time doing it, even if it's challenging. Say what you want to say. Let the words come out. Let your beliefs come out. Let your desires come out. Let what you want to have happen in your life come out. Even if your voice shakes, even if the ground is shaking all around you, say it anyway. And that's what she's all about. And she said, when I retired, first she said, I wasn't going to retire. They retired me because I was old. She said, and then I went to get other jobs, and no one would hire me because I was old, because my hair was that color, because I looked like this. And she said, so what I decided was, I'm going to create a job for myself. I'm going to go out and stand up for all the people that are having the same reaction I'm having. And she did. And now she is this well-known speaker. She's a very well-paid keynote speaker as she goes around the world speaking. That's who we get to be. We don't let outside world tell us who we are. We step into the authenticity of who we are and let it out. That is our job. I thought that was my final slide. I think we lost my final slide there. Well, my final slide's supposed to be this. I'm going to go back because I'm going to tell you why it looks like this. So, when Laurie Savage sent me this, I had she sends me like 10, 20 pictures of what could be my talk title picture. And I saw this, and it sort of reminded me of myself. And it reminded me of that time we went to the Chicago Institute, and we sat in front of that painting by, who was it? The Dot? No, not the Seurat. The one that you hated. It was just a little black dot on a white, oh, who is that guy? Anyway, there were like three big white canvases. Each one had a little tiny dot that you had to go look at to see if you could find it. A little dot on each one of them. And we walked into there, and Kevin was like, I could have done that. And I was like, but you didn't. He did, and he's a very famous painter. I can't believe I can't think of his name. Anyway, when I saw this, I was like, that's how I see paintings like that. That's how I see each one of you. I see each one of you as a blank canvas, and I see behind you a plethora of color, a plethora of energy and vibration, just waiting to burst through your white, plain canvas, saying, I'm ready. Are you ready? And you are the person sitting there just watching, waiting. Well, I think it's time for us to get up off of that chair, turn around, face the universe, face the world, and let what wants to come up, what wants to come out, let your true, authentic self, whoever that is, whatever that is, give it room, give it space, honor it, respect it, give it permission to come up and come out. Just let it out and see what happens. Namaste. Excellent. Yes.